Hi there, guys. Luis from Vintage Action. I hope you guys are all well. And today, guys, I'll be talking to you about that guy there. I'm going to be doing my top 10 Van Damme movies. That's right, guys. I mean, 2 days ago, I did like a Chuck Norris top 10 on his like 85th anniversary. And today, I'm going to do a top 10 of a guy that probably was my favorite growing up. Of course, I love Van Damme, Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Chuck Norris, Seagal, Bruce Lee, all those guys. We grew up watching all those guys, and even the Richard Nortons, the Gary Daniels, the Jeff Speakmans. But, the more mainstream were like Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Chuck Norris, Van Damme, Seagal. Those were the most famous ones when it comes to action and, martial arts. They were like the big action stars of like the 80s and the 90s. And yeah, guys, and today I'm going to do my top 10. And again, guys, this is my top 10 list. Probably a lot of you guys are going to disagree with it. Probably a lot of you guys are going to agree with it. It was not easy because Van Damme had so many cult classics in the 80s and the 90s, especially around that time. From 2000, the 21st century, it was like all the way down. I mean, even though we had like a couple of a few nice ones in the 2000s, 2010s, and the core, like the Van Damme we love is like from the 80s and from the 90s. And I'm going to start my list right now. And again, guys, I'm not going to choose or pick a movie because it was more successful in the box office, or it's like my personal list, the movies that I grew up watching, and probably the ones I watched the most. And for some reason or another, I had like a special place in my heart, like these ones. And we all have like those kind of movies that we liked better, that for some reason we were always watching, and there is like a specific scene or that amazing final fight scene between the good guy and the bad guy, that we picked a specific movie because of that. And yeah, guys, it's just my list, so let me just start. On number 10, Double Team. As you can see here, Van Damme, Rodman, amazing cast on this one. So this one, a lot of people, say this one was rubbish, this one was awful, this one was not good, Rodman was like really bad, Van Damme was bad on this one. I mean, I completely disagree. I went to the movies to watch this one. This movie is from 97. Probably I was 11 or 12 when I went to the movies to see this one. I mean, it's super entertaining. I mean, I watched it last year. It's super entertaining, action-packed. Shui Ark, the Hong Kong director, directed like this one. I mean, there's like an amazing cast, a lot of like fight scenes, explosions. I think there was a great chemistry between Van Damme and Rodman. So, to be honest, I really don't understand why so much people hate this one, and so much people say this one is one of Van Damme's like worst movies. I completely disagree. Just my opinion. Number 10 from 1997, Double Team. Van Damme, Rodman, action, comedy, entertaining. One that I really liked growing up, watching the theaters, at the VHS, the DVD, have the Blu-ray now. So Double Team on number 10. On number 9 on my list, another one that I really liked growing up, and I went to the theaters. I think I watched most of Van Damme movies in theaters, is Maximum Risk. Van Damme, Natasha Henstridge. I mean, another one that I really liked, was one of Van Damme's best. Again, it is not one of people's favorites. Maximum Risk from 96, directed by Ringo Lam. Really nice movie, a nice like plot, nice story, between New York and France as well. So this is one of my favorites growing up. Maximum Risk from 96. A really nice one that, again, a lot of people don't talk much about it because it's not one of his most famous movies or when it comes to the box office, but to be honest, it was quite successful at the time. So it's a movie that I really liked. So the pace, it's action packed. Even have Stefan Misalkakis that is like in Cyborg, and is the bad guy in Bloodsport 4, as in that nice fight scene in the elevator when Van Damme goes to the bank. Great, nice scene. And you have some like nice car chases, the streets of like Nice in France. So a really nice movie that I really like growing up. It's number 9 on my list. Maximum Risk. Number 7, number 8, number 8 on my list, not number 7. Number 8 on my list, Death Warrant, another cult classic. I mean, this is number 8 because it's super tough to pick from now because he had so many cult classics. I mean, I watched this movie literally countless times. That final fight scene between Van Damme and Patrick Kilpatrick, the Sandman. I mean, I love this movie. Literally, Van Damme in jail. It's like an amazing movie. I really always loved this one, Death Warrant from 1990, a canon movie. I mean, literally, this one was super famous at the time. Probably not his most famous movie, but still a canon movie. Van Damme in prison, a lot of fight scenes, a really nice one. And again, Patrick Kilpatrick was amazing as the bad guy. So this one is number 8, but could easily be like on the top 5. Like I told you guys, from going down now, it's super tough to pick like my top 10. But believe me, this one was one of my favorites growing up. Death Warrant from 1990. Now number 7 on my list is this one behind me. Double Impact. This one is literally one of his best movies, one of people's favorites as well. Van Damme plus 2. He played the famous twin brothers, Chad and Alex, shot like in Hong Kong. I mean, you have like the legendary, like Bolo Young again. I mean, first they were together in Bloodsport, and now Bolo Young again on this one playing the bad guy, Geoffrey Lewis. So a great cast on this one as well. So this one literally is one of his most famous movies, like from 91. This is like core Van Damme, amazing fight scenes, especially that fight scene in the end, like against Bolo Young, and some chases like Van Damme running around like Hong Kong, and and he did great on this one. Is one of his best performance, playing like 2 twin brothers. I mean, an amazing movie again, guys. This one is only on number 7 on my list, but it could easily be on the top 5, but it's tough. So now number 6 on my list, another movie that I love this movie, and again, like Double Impact, that I watched it like the movie countless times. It's like Cyborg. It's like a violent, dark movie. I mean, I love this movie. I mean, Vincent Klein, he played like an amazing bad guy in this one. He's like futuristic, like dark. I mean, I always love Cyborg. Probably this one is one of the movies I watch the most when it comes to Van Damme. It's an amazing. You have a lot of like martial arts scenes, a lot of fight scenes in a movie. Like chases, like Van Damme running around to the. The bad guys all like chasing him, and that apocalyptic like final like fight scene between him and Fender, the bad guy. Again, guys, this is number 6 on my list, but it could be easily number 1 for a lot of people. Probably this is like the best Van Damme when it comes to Van Damme. It's his best movie, and I won't like dispute or argue if someone would say to me, "Oh, Cyborg is my favorite Van Damme movie," and it rightfully so, because it's like an amazing movie. So at number 6 on my list, Cyborg. So number 5 on my list, another amazing cult classic, Universal Soldier, Van Damme Dolph Lundgren. I mean, this one was always one of my favorites. I watched this one countless times again. Just that final fight scene, Van Damme against like Lundgren. I watched that over and over again. So this is like an amazing movie again. This one could be like on number one on my list. Recently I did like a Kuroko like top 10, and this one was number one on my list, ahead of like the Rambos and the Terminator and Red Heat and Total Recall. So you guys can see how much I really like this movie. But unfortunately, I have to put it like number five, but it could easily be on number one. So number four. Now it's tough, guys. Like Cyborg, Universal Soldier, they could be number one easily. But the last four on the list, they could easily be all of them number one. It's like super hard to pick because it's four movies that I really like, and but I have to choose one. I have to put one on number one on second, one third, one fourth place. But it was super tough. But I mean, growing up, to see like the ones I've watched the most, the ones that really I said, oh, I need to watch this again. I need to watch this scene from the movie, and I choose like thinking about like the all that nostalgia. So at number four on my list, Lionheart, another amazing cult classic. I love Lionheart. Again, another one that I watch countless times. Van Damme, Brian Thompson. You even have like Billy Blank's beginning of the movie when Van Damme is escaping the Legion in the desert. You have Michelle Kesey that plays Tang Po, is one of the guys that is chasing Van Damme to bring him back to the desert, to the Legion. I mean, this one is an amazing movie. And again, when it comes to his like dramatic performance, is one of his best movies. I mean, when it comes to that, I think this one and Double Impact. I mean, it was great because a lot of people always criticize Van Damme because of his accent. He has that thick French accent because he's from Belgium, right? So, but I mean, we didn't care about that. I mean, who cares really if he has like an accent or not? I mean, Arnold had an accent as well because he was from Austria. He had like that German accent, so I couldn't care less about that. I mean, Van Damme always had that charisma that other actors never had. So it doesn't matter if sometimes you're English or you're American and you don't have the accent, but then Van Damme had that charisma. I mean, definitely, probably was my favorite growing up. All these cult classics that he gave us, all amazing movies. And so at number four on my list is this one, Lionheart. Also known like Leon, Wrong Bet. This one has so many different titles like worldwide. So this is number four. But again, I know a lot of people, and for a lot of people, this one is number one on their list. So and again, I'll never like dispute or argue against that. So number four on my list, like Lionheart. Number three on my list, it's one that it's tough for me to put this one on number three because this one is literally a movie that I watched like a million times, and I love this movie. Even it was the first movie that John Woo directed in Hollywood. It's like Hard Target. I mean, I love this movie. I mean, this is Van Damme, like in Hollywood, big budget movies. I mean, it started with Universal Soldier in 92, because he had the low budget in the 80s, beginning of the 90s. And then in 92, he started with, Double Impact. It was kind of like a low budget, but a bit bigger than the ones he did in the 80s and the 90s. But he started with 92 with Universal Soldier, then, Nowhere to Run, 93, and Our Target, 93. I mean, this one, I love this movie. It's amazing. Everything in this movie is like flawless. I mean, for me, it's perfect. I mean, the bad guys, Lance Henriksen, Arnold Vosloo. I mean, an amazing movie. This one could easily be on number one, top of the list. And I know it's for a lot of people, this one is number one. And for me, it was hard to put this one on number three, but on the list. But yeah, number three on the list, Hard Target, 1993, and it was one of Van Damme's most successful movies when it comes to the box office. So Hard Target. Now, it's really tough. But number 2 on my list, Kickboxer from 1989. Van Damme, Michel Kissy playing Tang Po. You have Denis Alexio, world kickboxing champion. I mean, I watched this like probably if I watch Hard Target a million times, I watch this one 2 million times. I mean, this one is amazing. Just Van Damme in Thailand, those like training sequences, the fighting scenes, that final fight scene with the fighting with the glasses on their hands against Tang Po. I watched that final fight scene countless times. So I mean, this definitely is one of his most successful movies. Super low budget, but everyone worldwide knows this one. And this one has to be 2 on my list, even though I love Hard Target, and it's super hard not to put Hard Target on number 1. But yeah, number 2 on my list, 1989's Kickboxer. And probably you guys guess which one is like first on my list, top on of my list. And I had to put this one. Even though I love Lionheart and Universal Soldier, Kickboxer, Hard Target, I mean, probably this one is the one I watch the most, like all the fight scenes. And this is like Bloodsport, 1988 Bloodsport. Van Damme, I mean, this one is like Bolo Young. I mean, Bolo Young is iconic. Of course, people knew him from Enter the Dragon. But this movie is amazing because of Van Damme and because of Bolo Young playing that iconic like bad guy. And that final fight scene is like Van Damme is blind and he grabs the powder and blinds Van Damme. I mean, and amazing other fight scenes. Van Damme doing the splits between chairs in the hotel room. I mean, this movie is like it's an iconic movie. It was the movie that put Van Damme on the map. Of course, you had like Van Damme had a few movies, No Retreat, No Surrender, Black Eagle, but he played the bad guy. And after this one, he became super successful. So had to be top of my list, even though it's tough, guys. So you guys let me know. This is my top 10. I'm going to show in a second like honorable mentions, movies that didn't make to the top 10, but that could easily be on the top 10, of course. But this one's had to be on my top 10. And again, guys, this one's here, Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Hard Target, especially these 3 here with, Lionheart. Any of these movies could be number 1 on the list easily. These 4 movies could be number 1 on the list. And then you have these 3 movies here. Again, these ones could be easily as well. And this one. So basically, the first 4 and these ones here, these 8 movies for me are not negotiable. Literally, Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Hard Target, Lionheart, Universal Soldier, Cyborg, Double Impact, and Death Warrant. This is like the core Van Damme, because the movies that made Van Damme famous was like Bloodsport in 88, Kickboxer 89. Then you have like Death Warrant 1990, Lionheart 1990, Double Impact 91. That was the low budget Van Damme. That was those low budget movies that made him famous. That made him famous like worldwide. Without that, he wouldn't have been like the other, like Universal Soldier, Hard Target, Time Cop, all those big budget movies. So that's why when I choose my top 10, it's still of like the movies I grew up watching. And for me, the top 8 is like core Van Damme. I'll never replace this top 8 for any of his other movies, even though he has like an amazing other movies. And you guys might ask me, how is it possible that you don't have like Time Cop on top 10 when Time Cop literally it was his most successful movie when it comes to the theatrical, right? It was his most successful movie. It made like millions worldwide, like Hard Target did in 93, Universal Soldier. But of course, that's an honorable mention. This one could easily be on the top 10, but like I told you guys, the first 8 are not negotiable, but still between Time Cop and Double Team and Maximum Risk, I still go for Double Team and Maximum Risk. Yeah, guys, I don't have the 4K or the Blu-ray of this one. Actually, it's going to be released by Shout Factory in US end of March. I'm going to get the 4K. I actually have the VHS and the DVD back in Portugal of this one, and I'm going to get obviously the 4K because again, guys, even though this one is on not on my list, my top 10, I love Time Cop. It's an amazing movie, and that fight scene, Van Damme doing the splits in the in the kitchen. Yes, that fight scene with James Liu. That's right, the legendary James Liu has a fight scene with Van Damme on this one. And yeah, guys, there is another movies that honorable mentions, that movies I liked, but not enough to be on the top 10. Again, guys, you can say whatever you want, like the mid 90s, but there's nothing that can go against like Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Cyborg, Double Impact, Death Warrant. That's like the core, like Van Damme. That it was like Van Damme famous. That's why I don't go for the box office, even though Time Cop is his most successful movie when it comes to the box office. Of course, that's a fact, right? But without those like low budget movies that made him famous, probably that's why people went to see Time Cop. And again, it's an amazing movie. I won't dispute that. And probably some people have Time Cop as on top of the list as their favorite, but not for me. Again, another one that I went to the theaters, a really nice one. It could be easily on a top 10. Knockoff, Van Damme, Rob Schneider, another Shui arc like movie. Another one that people call it like Die Hard on a hockey ring, and some people is one of his best movies. Again, a great movie, but you can see like stunt doubles a lot of times in this one. A lot of the fight scenes you can see is not Van Damme, especially that fight scene in the kitchen is not Van Damme doing all the stunts or anything. An amazing new movie. I love this one. I have the 4K that was released last year. It could be easily on a top 10. Directed by Peter Yimes, that directed Time Cop, but not enough to be on top 10, even though I loved it. Another nice one, The Quest, another great cast, Van Damme, Roger Moore, James Remar. It's kind of like a Bloodsport, like mixed with like Indiana Jones. And again, another nice movie if you like martial arts. It's a great movie. You have guys from a lot of actors, a lot of like real fighters in this one, different fighting styles. A movie that I really like from '96, The Quest. And then when it gets to 2000, unfortunately, I cannot say like amazing things about the Van Damme movies. The Hard Cops, or like the Second in Command. All those movies he did, like the Order, Derailed. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to say I was like a big fan of like of those movies, right? So there is like two movies that I'm going to show that is like beginning of 2000s, and that is one of the last movies I've been to the theater before the Expendables 2. That of course this one is an honorable mention. Because he came back as the bad guy to fight Stallone. Obviously, this one has to be like an honorable mention because Van Damme in a way was forgotten. He disappeared. I mean, he was praised for GCVD in 2008, but it was a dramatic role in French, in his mother language. And he was praised for that, but that's not an action movie. And then he came back for the Expendables 2 to play the bad guy up against Stallone. Of course, I have to have this one on the honorable mentions. But there is two. That one that I saw this one in theaters in 2001. Another Ringo Lam movie that directed also Maximum Risk. The Replicant with Michael Rooker, that is in Cliffhanger with Stallone. It's a movie I really liked. It's a good movie. And I like this one here from 2003, In Hell, Van Damme in jail again, and another Ringo Lam movie. So this is some honorable mentions. Again, guys, I'm not going to say No Retreat, No Surrender, Black Eagle, even though they are nice movies. Van Damme is the bad guy, is not the lead in those movies. And then movies like Universal Soldier The Return, like Street Fighter, like Nowhere to Run. Not going. I'm. Not, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to say they were my favorites. I have all those movies. You can see it behind me. I'm a big Van Damme fan. I have like all the collection. Obviously, I watch even these movies that I didn't like that much. I watched them like countless times. Right. So, but another two that I really liked, and is like. I mean, Universal Soldier is amazing. The Return, not that great, even though you had like Michael J. White and you have like Bill Goldberg and the Return. Then you have like the Regeneration and Day of Reckoning. You have like Scott Adkins and Dolph Lundgren. Nice movies, to be honest. Like 2009, 2012. Those two, I think they were better than the Universal Soldier, the Return. And yeah, guys, this is just my humble like list of like the top 10 of Van Damme's movies. Yeah, but probably my favorite growing up, it was him, Van Damme. So you guys let me know what you think. If you agree with this top 10, if you do disagree, please feel free to comment down below. I know that is tough because he was in so many cult classics, especially 80s and 90s. It's not easy to pick like a top 10 of Van Damme. And then I know probably your opinion is going to differ. It's going to be different than mine. But yeah, guys, it's just my top 10. Please feel free to comment down below. Let me know what's your favorites, what would be like your top 10. And yeah, guys, if you're first time watching my channel on YouTube, please feel free to follow, to subscribe to my channel. What I do on this channel is all about action. So I review, unbox like movies, Blu-rays, 4Ks, especially from the 80s and the 90s. I do top 10s like this one here of our favorite actors. And I show you guys my movie poster collection that I collected over the years, like since I grew up watching these amazing action martial art movies, especially from the 80s and the 90s. And yeah, guys, I'll be with you guys soon. As always, unboxing, reviewing, and talking to you about the action, the golden era of action and martial arts, 80s and 90s. And yeah, guys, feel free to comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this guy here behind me and what's your favorite Van Damme movie. And keep strong.